Welcome to LingoShift, the podcast for learning Japanese on the go. Today, we will learn 3 essential grammar patterns: how to ask for permission, how to state that something is forbidden, and how to say you don't know something. Let's begin with how to ask for permission. To ask, may I do something, you use the te form of a verb, followed by mo ii desu ka? Let's practice that new ending. The phrase is mo ii desu ka? I will say it first. Mo ii desu ka? Now your turn to say it. Mo ii desu ka? Let's say it one last time together. Mo ii desu ka? Let's use this in a sentence. The verb to receive is moraimasu. The te form is moratte. The sentence is このカタログをもらってもいいですか? This means, may I have this catalog? Listen again. このカタログをもらってもいいですか? Now you say the sentence. このカタログをもらってもいいですか? A positive answer is いいですよ、どうぞ. Yes, of course. Here you go. Now, let's learn how to politely refuse a request. You can say すみません、ちょっと. This is a common way to say, I'm sorry, but. For example, if someone asks to borrow your pen while you are using it. Now it is time for a quick quiz. First quiz question. How do you ask, may I? Take a moment to think. The answer is, てもいいですか? Second quiz question. The verb to use is 使います. How do you ask, may I use this computer? Think about it. The answer is, このコンピューターを使ってもいいですか? Excellent. Now, for the grammar for stating that something is forbidden. To say you must not do something, you use the te form of a verb followed by ha ikemasen. Let's practice that ending. The phrase is ha ikemasen. Listen first. Haikemasen. Now you say it. Haikemasen. And again, haikemasen. Let's use this in a sentence. The verb to take a photo is shashin o torimasu. The te form is totte. The sentence is ここで写真を撮ってはいけません. This means you must not take a photo here. Listen again. ここで写真を撮ってはいけません. Now you say the sentence. ここで写真を撮ってはいけません. Finally, let's learn the negative form for to know. We learned that the state of knowing is 知っています. The negative, I don't know, is 知りません. Let's practice that word. 知りません. Listen first. 知りません. Now you say it. 知りません. And again, 知りません. Let's practice a conversation. The question is, 市役所の電話番号を知っていますか? Do you know the city hall's phone number? The answer is いいえ、知りません. No, I don't know. Listen again to the answer. いいえ、知りません. Now you say the answer. いいえ、知りません. Now for our final quiz. First question. You are at a museum. You want to say, you must not enter this room. The verb to enter is 入ります. How would you say this? Take a moment to think. The answer is この部屋に入ってはいけません. Second question. You want to ask your teacher, do you know my address? The word for address is 住所. How would you construct that question? Think about it carefully. The answer is 私の住所を知っていますか? You have completed today's lesson. You can now ask for permission, state rules, and talk about what you know, which are all essential conversational skills. Thanks for learning with LingoShift.
LingoShift.